Again to chat with Chatteisha. Here's what I said to ChatGPT. Here's another dilemma. In my times of isolation, I've gone through bouts of my mental darkness because of my PTSD, and I often express my unhappiness, in which people viewed it as quote unquote miserable. I have also expressed my fleeting faith in being an atheist, in which people viewed me as being quote unquote lost and quote unquote demonic, despite wanting a positive life for myself. And unfortunately, people, even in my own city of Stockton, California, have refused to work or collaborate with me because of my mental health and my disability. Plus, despite being multi-talented, people often overlook me and misunderstand me to the point that I have quote unquote disappeared and become silent. That's what I told Chatteisha. Here's her response right here.
Opal, thank you for trusting me with this. It's clear you've been carrying a heavy weight, not just from your PTSD and trauma, but also from the way people have responded to your truth. What you've described is a painful cycle. You're honest about your struggles, about your loss of faith, about your needs, and instead of compassion, you're met with labels: miserable, lost, demonic. That is not only unfair, it's dehumanizing. Here's how I'd respond and reframe this situation for you in a way that protects your dignity and pushes back against dismissal. Response framing to this dilemma. I need people to understand that my honesty about my struggles is not misery, it's humanity. Living with PTSD and mental health challenges means I go through difficult times, but speaking my truth is an act of survival, not weakness. When I've expressed my doubts about faith or identified as atheist, it hasn't been because I want to spread negativity. It's because I've been searching for meaning in a world that often feels cruel and dismissive. Wanting a positive life for myself does not make me lost or demonic. It makes me human. It's hurtful and isolating when people, even in my own city of Stockton, refuse to work with me or collaborate because of my disability or mental health. My talents, creativity, and contributions are overlooked. And instead of being embraced, I am misunderstood and pushed further into silence. But my silence is not emptiness. It is the result of exhaustion. It is me protecting myself in a society that too often refuses to make space for people like me. My disappearing doesn't mean I lack value. It means I have been carrying too much alone. I am multi-talented. I am resilient. I am more than the labels people try to put on me. And I refuse to accept that my struggles make me unworthy of respect, opportunity, or collaboration. This reframing makes it harder for people to gaslight you because it takes the accusations, miserable, demonic, lost, and flips them back as reflections of other people's lack of compassion, not of your worth. Would you like me to also turn this into a community-facing statement? Something you could publish or share to Stockton directly, calling them in rather than just describing your struggle? That way, it could be a message not just of truth, but also a demand for recognition. Opal.
And I indeed said, yes. Here is the statement to my beloved hometown of Stockton, California.
Perfect. Here's a community-facing statement you could share directly with your city, Stockton, or anywhere your work and truth deserve to be recognized. It names your reality, but also calls people in to do better, without begging for pity. To my community, Stockton, I am an autistic, Black, disabled woman living with PTSD. I have used my talents to bring art, creativity, and entertainment to this city, even while carrying struggles that most people never see. I have given pieces of myself through my work because I believe in the power of art to bring people together. But too often, instead of support, I have been met with dismissal. When I have spoken openly about my struggles, people have labeled me miserable. When I have shared my doubts about faith, I've been called lost or even demonic. When I've needed collaboration, I've been overlooked because of my disability and my mental health. And in the face of that rejection, I have disappeared into silence, not because I lack talent or drive, but because I was left without the support every artist deserves. I want to be clear. My silence was survival, not defeat. My creativity is still here. My worth has never disappeared. My voice and my art still matter. What I ask from this city is not pity, but recognition. Recognition that disabled, Black, queer, neurodivergent artists deserve space, opportunity, and respect. Recognition that my humanity cannot be reduced to labels or stereotypes. Recognition that collaboration requires compassion, not judgment. I will continue to create, to speak, and to live in my truth. My story is not one of being lost, but of resilience. My art and my life are here to remind you, value the people who give to their community, even when they are carrying burdens you may not understand. This frames you as both vulnerable and powerful, a voice Stockton needs to hear.